Hello there, Digimon Tamers. I am Cherryz. I am here with my first place Ultimate Cup deck profile. We're going to get right into it. I did run 4 of the Star Deck Kiaramon. If you have another Digimon when attacking, draw 1. I don't think this is the right egg. I was testing with it. I didn't hate it, but I do think the new one, the BT22 one, which when any of your other puppet or tokens are deleted, you draw a card. I just didn't bring it with me. It was at Gencon, which was kind of far from my house, and nobody there had it. So, but it did the job. But I do recommend switching into the new one. Next here is the Star Deck Shumon. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck on play. Add 1 card with Puppet and 1 with Liberator and the rest of the bottom. The inheritable on it, all your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3k. So this is an amazing card because it's easily abused in this deck. It's easily summoned. You could summon it out with the promo Orisa if you choose to run it. With Fabled Waltz, you could bring it back with the level 6. We can go more into it a little bit later on. But yes, it's really amazing in this deck because 48, at least in my build, 48 out of the 50 cards are Liberator. So it is impossible to miss. And it is pretty hard to not get to. As long as you see 1 Digimon, and I mean, you pretty much are golden unless you hit 2 scrambles. Spoiler alert. But yeah, really good, solid card. Next, 4 of the EX7 Shumon. This is what you want to see at the beginning. Same with the other one, but mostly because you want to play the other one out. This one, though, you want to put in the breeding area. Same inheritable. All your opponents, Digimon and security, get minus 3k. But when this would digivolve into a Digimon with Puppet trait, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So no matter what, even if they leave you at 1, you're able to go right into your level 4. With the promo Shushumon, it actually gets crazy because from 1 you can get right into your level 6. We'll go more about that later on, but yeah, you want to see this opening hand. It's phenomenal. Next, we are running 3 of the BT22 Shumon. On play and on delete, 1 of your Digimon with Puppet gains blocker till the end of your opponent's turn. The inheritable on this one is a little different. On attack, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2k for the turn. This is actually pretty good though because sometimes you just want to take care of little rookies here and there. So it just helps you with the control. That way you don't have to spend your big DP reductions on just 1 small Digimon. This one's interesting. You can run the other Shumon that gives minus security. What I really like about this one is since you are most likely building a big board, you can drop him, give himself blocker. I would recommend for the most part himself blocker. That way when you block, he'll delete himself, give somebody else blocker. You do run the level 6, that gives everybody blocker, but there's a lot of de-digivolve, or if they somehow are able to kill it or just get rid of it in general, minus DP. This helps out. It's pretty good. It helps out a lot against I think the best deck against the Geomon Rush. It was very helpful, but yeah, we'll move on to the next one. 2 Hanimon. By trashing 1 card in your hand, you may return 1 Digimon with Puppet and its trace from trash to hand. Really good. If you want to set up trash, you can. I've done it just to trash a card sometimes, but obviously it helps a lot for recursion. The inheritable on it, opponent's turn once per turn. When 1 of your opponent's Digimon attacks by deleting 1 of your other Digimon and that attack. This card, really good. The inheritable has actually helped against who was it? I think a few Magna players that were running the Mega Digimon X that cannot be their attack can't be redirected. You can still delete one of your Digimon to end the attack, and depending on the Digimon that you have, you could have some triggers. We'll talk more about that later. One of the MVPs of the deck here is promo Shushumon. Well, one of the promos. It does have a security effect. At the end of the battle, play this card without paying the cost. On play and when digivolving, you can play one familiar token. The familiar token is 3k DP and has on deletion minus 3k one of your opponent's Digimon. That token is deleted at the end of your opponent's turn, which, funny enough, you could use to help set up other combos, or sometimes I've used it to just, if I know my opponent's going heavy on floodgates, I'll just use it to keep a token there and it'll pop right at the end, killing their Pillowmon or whatever. The inheritable on it is Barrier, which is nice. It does come in handy. Sometimes you hit security, don't have enough DP. Barrier just comes in handy for that too. Really solid card. Going on top of the reduced by one Shumon, provides you with another body, and it does enable you to go into your level 6, which we'll talk about in a minute here. Level 4 here. Kokeshimon. When digivolve and on delete, by trashing one card in your hand, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4k DP for the turn. Another really good one. Easy to get kill like any of your opponent's rookies, even some of their level 4s. Being able to digivolve into it and then deleting it with other cards that this deck has, minus 8k on certain things, or if you just need to get the DP up to a certain threshold, this is very, very useful. It's an inheritable. It's the same as the Hanimon. When one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, by deleting one of your other Digimon, you end the attack. Solid card. I'm running 2 of the EX7 Shushumon. If you have one or fewer tamers, you can play one Orisa from your hand without paying the cost. It's really good. You know, any Digimon that can cheat out tamers is really good. It can get really crazy if you get it right at the beginning with certain cards, which we'll talk right at the end about what you want to play as your starting combos. But inheritable, all of your opponent's security Digimon get minus 3k DP. It's okay. You could run it at 4 if you're a little tamer heavy, or even if you're not, honestly, as long as you have a good amount. I'd say 6 Orisas. The only issue is the space in this deck. That's all it is. So for our level 5s here, of course, we will have 5 Karakurumon. On play when digivolving, by deleting one of your tokens or other puppet trait Digimon, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the puppet trait in hand without paying the cost. I mean, anybody that knows anything about puppets knows this card is insane. This is what enables you to go into your level 6 even with 1 memory, with the help of course, your Shumon that reduces by 1 and your Shushumon that produces a token, because you can just digivolve over that, kill the token off, and then just digivolve. If you're going turn 1, you probably want to go into Syndro, only because Syndro will at least provide a token, and the inheritable on this does give protection when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by your effects. By deleting one of your tokens or other puppet trait Digimon, it doesn't leave. The problem with the other level 6 is that it will just be there unless you have something in trash already. Being able to also just play this for 7, popping anything on there, helps so much too. I know sometimes it's really one of the best ways to get over medieval as well. Um, we could talk a little bit more combos later on that. Chaperomon from EX7. It does have overclock at the end of your turn by deleting one of your tokens or other puppet trait Digimon. This Digimon can attack a player without suspending. When Digivolving, you can play one level 3 card with the puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost. It does have the inheritable, the same protection as Karakurumon. So this card, really good. You want to see the other one more. What I really like about it is it just helps you swarm. This deck, you can build it in different ways, which is really the fun of it, trying to figure it out. You can swarm, you can control, you can just have a lot of bodies that won't go away, very sticky. Going into your cat here, your level 7, this helps out because it gives you another body right before that. Alright, we'll go into the other Chaperomon, which is the BT22. This one, if you have an Orisa, by placing one Shushu from your trash under any of your Shumon's bottom Digivolution cards, it can Digivolve into it for a cost of 3, ignoring Digivolution requirements. It also has overclock, and it also has the same inheritable protection. This one is more mid-game, since you do actually need a Shushu in trash, but being able to warp from a Shumon and warping just from the reduction cost Shumon, you could just Digivolve right into your level 5 for 2, and if you're really in a pinch, this could also just Digivolve into your level 7 for 6. So it's really just warping just to try to get you back into the game, which this deck does excel at. Alright, so the level 6 that I've been mentioning, the one that we're going to be running 4 of, is Kaguyamon. This card's insane. So, and it's only for 3, but most of the time you're probably going to Digivolve into it for free. All turns. All of your token and puppet trait Digimon gain Alliance and Blocker. So that's pretty great. It's both offensive and defensive. All turns. Once per turn. When other Digimon are deleted, so it doesn't just have to be yours, delete one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon. It is easy to play around. People could just bring out a level 3, and then I would have to just pop their level 3, but keep in mind, your effects do, you get to decide what order your effects go, so sometimes they don't have a choice but to delete this, for example. You can pop a token, the token could just delete or minus DP their rookie or level 3 that they summon, and then this can go off, deleting their lowest. It's also it's a pain, especially for cards like Diaboromon who delete their own things. And that's not it. End of your turn, once per turn, you can play one level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost. So that's one of the reasons also why you would like to maybe at the start of the game use your honey just to pitch something. If you have your Shumon, this is one of the reasons why if you Digivolve in the back with something and play your Shushumon, or I'm sorry, just your Shumon, regardless of if it dies, it dies. If it doesn't, you could just swing, hope it dies, and then if you go into Kaguyamon, it just brings it right back, and then you're on play. You could just keep revealing. It gets really insane. You can bring out your Shumon, your Shushumon promo, bringing out another token. So now it's a little, your board just gets big easily. You could bring out your Kakashi in case you need to delete it later on. Kakashi could also be deleted by Karakuru if you have enough memory, just to minus 4k more things. Just an amazing card. I've seen some people run it at 3. It just really depends on how you want to build your deck, because there is a lot of different builds for it. if you want to go aggressive. If you just want to build bodies, this is the way to do it. I run 4. I think that's currently the right decision for it. Next, Syndril. I'm running 2. I can see you running 3. So if you want to run 7 level 6s, I wouldn't say anything. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm running 2. It has overclock. At the start of your main phase, when digivolving, you can play 1 of the familiar tokens, which again have on delete minus 3k, and they have 3k themselves. When attacking, and this is not once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6k for the turn. So essentially, when this comes out, it does cost 4, but with your Kurumon, it's free. When this comes out, it produces a token, and essentially for that turn, this card has the potential to do minus 15. 6k for the first swing. Then when you overclock, you delete the token. Goes in. That's another 3k, so 9,000. And it's swinging without suspending. That's another 6k, so 15. This card helps a lot. It's in situations where, well, it helps in the mirror. First of all, this is crucial for the mirror because this deck's 2 biggest weaknesses are D-Digivolve and DP reduction. If you're going against any yellow deck like Angels or anything sticky like Diaboromon as well, anything with protection, DP reduction is one of the best ways to get rid of it. Alright, our last Digimon here, Naya Bootmon, or Nia Bootmon, I'm thinking Naya. So, this one, while you have an Orisa, it can digivolve into Chaperomon for the cost of 6 if you are in a bind, or if you're just trying to warp. It does have overclock. When digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon card from your hand without paying the cost. Then to one of your opponent's Digimon, give 3k until the end of their turn. That's actually very important because it's the only card that'll do it until the end of their turn. For each of your Digimon. Once per turn, when any of your other Digimon are deleted, you may activate one of this Digimon's 1 digivolving effects, and that is all turns. So this card, I mean, it was basically the MVP. I want to run it at 3, but I am afraid I'll see it too often. I think 2's fine, unless you build a deck specifically for it, which I have thought about. Just go into the Chaperomon that could just warp and just go right into it. With this one, you can basically put out a body, the best one probably being Shushumon because they'll produce a token. Keep in mind, the DP reduction will go off before Shushumon summons the token. So if you only have this out and you bring out the Shushumon, you do minus 6k, then you bring out the token. But after that, you can overclock. Overclocking if you want to do the token for extra DP or just this in general. Then you activate the on Digivolve effect again to bring out another body. It does help with the Orisa that brings out another body on deletion. This card, again, this whole deck really good. You can basically 2k or 20k something fast if you really need to. If there's something really big on board or something with protection that will go away once you end your turn, this card's it. One other thing, you technically don't need to play a body in order for your effect to go off, because it is a then effect. So if you don't play a body, you still count the bodies you have, and then minus 3k for each. Unique emblem, Fabled Waltz. I'm running 3. Main, you may play 1 Shumon or Orisa from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then place this card in the battle area. When any of your Orisa suspends, delay. One of your puppet trait Digimon may digivolve into a puppet into a puppet and liberator trait Digimon card in the hand with the digivolution cost reduced by 3. I didn't like this card at first. It really depends on the tamers that you are running, because some tamers are a little harder to activate it. I think the promo Orisa goes great with it because essentially you can just digivolve into your level 2. Then you just tap your Orisa to gain a memory, and then this goes off, and now you just go into your level 5. Your level 5 can now go into your level 6 if it's Karakuru. It's really insane at the beginning of the matchup, and I will show one small combo later on. We are almost done here. 2 yellow scramble. I think, well, I'll read it off just in case. One of your yellow Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon from your hand with a reduction of 3. Then place this card in the battle area. The delay on it is start of your turn, so before you draw, very important. If your opponent has a Digimon, delay, return 1 yellow Digimon card from your trash to the top of your deck. Then, if you don't have a Digimon, you may play 1 yellow Digimon card with 2k or less DP from your trash without paying the cost. The security on it is you may play 1 yellow Digimon card with 2k DP or less from your trash without paying the cost, then add this to your hand. Sorry, I caught myself. The security effect on this one is the same, just the main effect. Yellow Scramble, again, very explanatory, very good. With this type of deck, it helps you warp. If you're already reducing the cost for the first one, you don't want to do it. Sometimes you just want to play it out, just to play it out. In this deck, it's actually a lot better because this deck has the ability to give the guy that you bring out Rush, which we'll go into. Promo Orisa. On play, you may play 1 Shumon from your hand without paying the cost. Then all turns, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with puppet trait, by suspending this Digimon, gain 1 memory. Some people aren't playing it. Again, it just depends on how you want to build the deck. I really think that this is the best tamer. We'll go into it. We're almost done here. Forecast Orisa from Sardec 19. If you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. When in effect plays any of your tokens or puppet trait Digimon, by suspending this tamer, one of those Digimon gain Rush. You have to be careful with this card because you're deleting your tokens or other Digimon so often in this game, you have to think your plays ahead. But this does enable the yellow scramble. When you bring a Digimon back with scramble, you just tap it and you can play it. Keep in mind it does have to be by effect, so you can't just hard play a Digimon. Finally, we have 2 of the EX7 Orisa. Start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. When any of your tokens or puppet trait Digimon, this is all turns, are deleted, by suspending this tamer, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card with puppet trait from your hand without paying the cost. It's, as I continue to play it, I'm liking it a little less, but it does serve its purpose, especially if you're overclocking. One big thing is the Neon Boots. Neon Boots, well, this will help you keep bodies on board, so when you overclock, you can suspend this to play a Digimon, then Neon Boots will activate to play another Digimon since you deleted something, keeping more bodies on field so that you could minus. Same thing if you're using protection effects. It's good. I still think it's worth running. You just gotta be a little careful. Or not careful, I'm sorry. What am I saying? it just really depends on the type of deck that you want to run. I can cut it maybe in favor of more of this Orisa, which I am considering. This deck, interesting. Because certain cards are hard, like this Orisa plays only Shumon. So now you have to go hard on the Shumons. This Fable Waltz plays only Shumon or Orisa. I've seen people play the Mirai, I believe, her sister, and that's not a bad call. It's even the new Orisa is really good, but I feel like those cards you have to see them right off the bat to get the maximum value from them. Same, I guess, with these, but these in tangent with each other can get crazy because your first turn, again, it's, you know, the odds of you getting this particular hand, you can digivolve into this Shumon into the back, and then where it gets really crazy is you can play a Fabled Waltz for 3. Fabled Waltz will allow you to play an Orisa, and then Orisa allows you to play Shumon, which allows you to get 3 cards from your deck. Or, I'm sorry, reveal 3 to get 2 from your deck. And that's your turn 1. And that in itself is already insane because your opponent will have to deal with this Shumon, and even if they get rid of it, next turn you'll be able to promote. Again, the odds of having this hand, so I feel like maybe I should up them because this is a really good starting hand, but you can just swing with this if you really want to, or not. You would be able to, even if you're at 1, digivolve for 1. You can tap this to gain the memory back. You're creating the token. Since you tap this, you pop it. You can go into your Karakurumon for free. And then you could either just go here. You get more value off the Syndro, but most likely you're going to want to go there. If you deleted your Shushumon, it's going to come back. If you did not delete your Shushumon, well, you have the token, which either way you can start swinging if you want. With how many security bombs there are right now, you might want to reconsider. It just depends on the deck that you're facing. You really need to know your opponent's deck to know if you should just go wide and swing 1 turn, or if you should just start chipping. But it can get out of hand really quick. I'm pretty sure I left a few things out. I know that's mainly what I wanted to talk about at the end of the video. Mainly that combo. It felt well. I really enjoyed playing it. I definitely think that you can play around with it. There's so many different ways to build this deck. I don't think I've seen a deck that has this many different ways to build and still be competitive. Do I think it's the best deck in the format? No, I don't think any deck currently is the best deck in the format. Maybe Geo. And even with Geo, I was able to beat Geo, but I also lost to Geo with this deck. It just depends on how fast you go into your big boy here. Oh, where'd he go? Into your Kaguya. But I do think if you want to have fun, especially if you're a deck builder, this would be a really good fun deck to play. Again, it did win me the Ultimate Cup, so it is competitive. Really the only thing for at least this build as of right now that I will say is maybe I want to add that promo Orisa, but taking anything out hurts. The 4-cost Orisa, honestly, you just want to see one of, so you could bring this down that would be probably my recommendation. You could bring this down to 1. The only reason I have it at 2 is because I do want to see it, but I'm thinking maybe cut one out, play the promo, and I think the promo Arisal is just the easiest way to trigger your Fabled Waltz, and it just does so much. It gets out of hand real quick, especially I know I had a few matchups where I did go into the Shumon here, and then for one I went into the Shumon that plays out a Tamer, which played out the promo Orisa, which played out another Shumon, and it just goes crazy. I did have, other than that, Gencon was fun. It was my first and my second Ultimate Cup. I didn't do as well in my first, same with the regional, but then I adjusted the deck into this. This format is very matchup dependent. There's no safe deck that you can bring. Maybe Geo, and that's probably gonna get hit. Royal Knights, but the other thing about Royal Knights is everybody knows how to play against it. So this is the format to really be having fun, I think, because there's just so many decks that can go, especially in the regional. We saw so many go rogue. There was only one matchup that I felt that was unwinnable, and that's Dynamon. Dynamon, if they're running CS or if they're just running Galaxy, it just really hurts this deck because they strip your protection and then they just bounce. You're level 6. The only way I could think of, maybe I would have to actually read the Dynamon again, but I believe maybe going into your level 7, maybe just rushing them. Honestly, just try to rush them, but even then it's just such a good deck. But other than that deck, I didn't find any other matchups unfair. I went up against a good variety of them. Red Hybrid, Red Purple Imperial, regular Imperial, the Mirror, Magna, Omnimon, CS Omnimon. I'm trying to remember right off the top of my head here. Even saw 3 Musketeers, which was undefeated until round 3, which was pretty scary. Again, I went against Geo, Megidra, Royal Knights. It has done well against Angels as long as you see any of your DP reduction. So it's just, I think it's a very, very good deck for this format. You have to practice it very well. Your starting hand is going to be pretty easy. It's just all the middle things that you have to worry about, and really doing your homework on the other decks, which again, there's so many right now. But anybody that competed against me at Gen Con, whether it be the Ultimate Cup or the regional, I appreciate all the matchups. Again, I met really awesome people. Nobody was like, everybody was nice, basically. Definitely some more than others, but overall, really, really fun time. With that, I will be doing a deck profile soon for the other Ultimate Cup winner. I won the Ultimate Cup on Sunday, and I went in the finals against one of my close friends, who most people know. I don't know if he wants me saying his name out here. Zeke. I'll say his name. Everybody knows Zeke. He was running Magna. He was running Magna's, I'm pretty sure, his favorite deck. And he got all the way to the finals. Unfortunately, with this deck, all I have to see is my Nia boots, and it's a little harder for him to compete against it just because of that card. But again, great matchups. I'll be doing the deck profile on the other first place winner who won on Thursday. one of my close friends as well, Louis. Actually, I don't know if he wants his name out there, but other than that, I appreciate you all, and thank you very much.